Hello and welcome back. Today will be quite an exciting session. We are moving on to the Avatar Goals Grid. This is the third framework in our free series of marketing foundational frameworks. And I congratulate you that you made it up to here. It seems you are serious, and I can promise you it gets more and more exciting when we move on, as you will see more and more why we go that way. As I said before, there is a given process we follow, and everything builds on each other. We did in the first session the target market matchmaker to identify the right market, the right niche for your business. We did in the last session the Avatar snapshot. That is all about selecting the first target customer group we like to focus on. And as I said, today we move on to the Avatar Goals Grid. Perfect. Let's dive in directly. We look at the Avatar Goals Grid. The Avatar Goals Grid, as all the frameworks before, is a continuity from the previous frameworks. So when you do your work on these frameworks, identifying the pains and frustrations, goals and desires, fears and implications, dreams and aspirations, have in mind that you don't start something fresh today. Everything is based on the avatar you defined. You go deep now in how this avatar feels, and with the focus on the target market that you have identified in this framework here. So all the questions that are asked here are referring to this defined avatar. So when you start with the framework, I'm sure you have it printed in front of you. You fill the avatar name that you gave in the framework before up here. And you start with thinking about what pain and frustrations related to your product your avatar has. Let me go back again to my product here, my sales and marketing managers that are busy. They are looking for a sales automation machine. What are their pains? So the idea here is, we usually do this framework in two steps. In the first step, you simply fill in a list with a good number of pains and frustrations they have. As an example, my prospects, they don't get enough leads. They are very busy. They work too many hours. They work weekends. They don't have time for their family. There is not a sustaining stream of fresh leads. The leads are not fitting really in. So make a list in the first step, and then in the second round you go back and try to identify the strongest three and write them here in the first three positions. Maybe before we move on to the fears and implications, let me show you shortly what it is about here. We have the now. We have the pains and frustrations and their goals and desires that they have in the now, and they like to go somewhere. Eventually, they like to get their dreams and aspirations, and hopefully not their fears and implication coming into their world. So we go away from these fears and implications and pains and frustrations, and we go towards their goals and desires and their dreams and aspirations. So you might ask, what is this all about? Why I need to know that? let me put it like that. Usually when you go to a website of a company, I'm sure you have one, then people are very good in talking about themselves. Our company can do this and we have this product and now buy from us. Now in online marketing we have learned that this is actually not what is really interesting for your prospect customer, for your avatar. What is really interesting for him is, are you able, by giving him your product, to better achieve his goals and desires and dreams and aspirations? Are you able to take away his pains and frustrations? Are you able to take away his fears? So look at that. When you write down now the most important points or all the points, then you actually build the basic for all the messaging and content that will come in future. You will see when you are done with this framework that it greatly helps you to draft a message that really touches the avatar you have defined, and that will make him move on to the next step, and he might say, let's talk to these people, they can help me solve my problems. So let's look at the fears and implications. What is usually helpful is to go here in rounds. We have a pain. I'm not getting enough leads. That leads to a fear that my boss might say, when you move on like that, you are not the right sales manager or the right marketing manager for me. So the fear and the implication is, I might lose the job. The fear and the implication is, I have to work even more hours to compensate and make things happen. So think in this way when you go from the pains and frustrations to the fears and implications, and write them down the same way you did it on top here. Now let's move on to the goals and desires and dreams and aspirations. Actually, I feel you already got the picture what it is about. As I said before, go in rounds. The pain and frustration is, I don't get enough leads, and the goal and desire is, I like to have a continuous stream of quality prospects. I don't like to make cold calls. I like to get a stream of warm prospects that start calling me. Now you adopt that to your business and your goals and desires are set. The dreams and aspirations is again more the vision of the future. We said it's 2 words. So the dreams and aspiration might be having fun of having an endless stream of prospects, having more time to spend with my family, having a sales team that is happy to work on this already nurtured leads and close them the way they can, and don't have to hustle doing cold calls. So take your time, fill that. I personally see that as the most beneficial framework in this series, while it really opens your mind for a new way to interact, not only in the preparation of your messaging, but also in the direct communication with your prospect. When you can pick him on his pain and you can give him a vision for achieving the goal to reach there where his dreams and aspirations are, I think that completely changes the game away from a boring website that talks about the company and the team and the products. That's in the end not what the customer is looking for. The customer likes to solve his problems, and he needs to feel that you are the one that can do that for him. Also today I like to zoom out a bit and make it clear that we are still deep here in the marketing foundation. Actually in the first part of marketing foundation, later on we will think about how your perfect offer looks like, and the marketing foundation will help us in the next step to create a content roadmap, and will help us to always have a good story of what we like to build for a content next that is really interesting for our target customer. I think that's it for the Avatar Goals Grid. In the next session, we will pick actually the information that we get here, and we'll move on to the currency calculator, how we call it, where it is all about identifying the most important thing, the most measurable thing for your avatar, the avatar that we defined here in the avatar snapshot. And I will show you how to list them, how to give them a metric and timeline, and what we will do in the next step with the one we select here to move on then to the $1 million message. I thank you very much for the time here. As I said before, don't skip frameworks. When you're not yet ready, finish the ones that you are working on. If you need help, you know how to find me. I'm happy to help, or you can book a call and we see what we can do for you. In your busy schedule, you might be happy to get me helping you out, making this thing happen for you, your company, and your sales team. Thank you so much. See you the next time.